first.
Oh,
All right.
Patty. Oh.
Well, I am at the Bigfoot Art Gallery with Rob Roy Menzies.
Hello, everybody.
Always a pleasure coming here. I have so much fun.
Always a pleasure to be on your show. I love it. Every Sunday.
Absolutely.
I have my breakfast and watch the Chuke show.
Drink your coffee.
And just kind of hold my face and hope I don't say something really stupid. But
well, I know you've been really busy, but people can still order prints. You've got one right behind you there, and we're going to talk about the Patty prints. But so they just go on Facebook, look up the Bigfoot Art Gallery. They can
the
message
Bigfoot
you.
Art Gallery. I have a website as well under the Bigfoot Art Gallery. You can peruse through that. We got a little Halloween action going on the website, but we're trying to gearing up for spooky time. But then again, it's kind of always spooky time in here. But
Always.
I don't really have to do much. Maybe put up a candle or something, and we're done. But,
Right.
But anyway, it's coming.
The Patterson Gimlin film. So
Okay.
I know there's some controversy around it. It's one of my favorite films.
Yes,
I personally believe that it was a Bigfoot, just the way people have studied it for years and years, and the movements, and the muscle beneath.
Yes.
Just
the latest little computer-aided, layered, what they do, they kind of redid it.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of critics look at it, and the critics actually were kind of blown away by it. Where you can see the toes kind of lifted on it now. It was just enough.
Yeah.
Still kind of blurry, but it was just enough to, wow,
add some realism.
Add some more realism, some more data to, wow. I've always felt it looked pretty real.
Yeah.
Of course, the drawing I did back in 2003, 2004.
And we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, it's been showing up a lot lately.
Keep bringing it up, and I know you and I both have our ideas about AI. So this is the picture that you did in 2003, 2004.
Yes, that's the full body. I did two. I did the head, and then I did the full frame.
And we'll throw them up here. But there's been some controversy lately because, and it's kind of annoying because people are looking at it and what are they saying? Oh, that's AI.
Yes. Well, I can understand why, but the latest I saw, my Patty drawing was saying that it was done by AI under a non-biased whatever artist or something like that. But
right.
I've heard that. I've seen it posted as the clearest photograph ever of the Patty film.
Right.
And of course AI, all of which in the threads that you read, the people arguing and this and that, oh God. Yeah. And I'm sitting there looking at this over and over. This has been going on for years. And I used to get on there and going, I drew that with Photoshop back in 2000, and now it's like I can't do it anymore. I'm tired of explaining.
That's annoying.
But my signature's right there too.
Right, and they still say that with your signature.
But with AI and everything's hoax, everything's fake, nobody knows anything, nobody believes anything anymore.
Right.
It's funny watching my art almost fall into that category.
Yeah.
Innocently enough.
Right.
I mean, people don't understand it. I actually drew that.
Right.
Yes, I used Photoshop, but I used a Wacom tablet.
So tell us about the process. So the Wacom tablet, you got a light pen. Basically.
It's basically a pen, and you're just drawing a tablet. One of the closest ways you can get to organically drawing on a computer.
Right.
I mean, because you're using your natural. I've always drawn my whole life, so you're naturally using your drawing skills, but you're using a computer, to draw.
And you mentioned like the airbrush tool.
Yeah, so Photoshop has all these different functions you can use. So when I took on this project, and I took it on myself because I wanted to see what Patty really looked like.
Right.
I mean, we all have seen frame for 352, and it's very blurry. All I wanted to do was sharpen it.
Yeah.
Just kind of pretend I'm a lens and I'm just sharpening it.
Absolutely.
So what I did is
artist's eye.
Yes, through an artist's eye, but not deviating from what is there.
Right.
I just used the pixels that were there. I just basically wanted to take all those pixels and clean them up until it starts getting pretty clean.
So you're
clear
basically
image.
doing what they did with AI.
Yeah.
Only you're a human controlling it.
So, and the thing is a lot of people don't understand how Photoshop works. But what I use not the actual film frame, but the best image I could find
Right.
of 352, because there's hundreds of them out there, and some are real tiny, some are bigger.
And that's a particular frame.
That's the famous frame that I did, where
Okay.
she's looking
Okay. Right.
at you. They used to
Right.
call it the famous frame 352.
I see.
So I did one of her head,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of like tracing in a way. What I did with the techniques I used in Photoshop. I had the image, but you create a layer on top of that image, a blank layer.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you have an image and you lay the tracing paper on top.
Right.
But it's in the computer. And then I began drawing, just copying it. And then I can turn my layer off and turn it back on and see how close I am. And it was just a process of recreating what was there, but making it in focus.
Right.
Not stretching the ears, I think the eye should be here. I just used what was there and just tried to put it more in focus.
Awesome.
And it took a while. And I was I did take a long time with it. I did work with even Jeff Meldrum. I've sent my first couple copies to him, and he helped me out with a few things.
Okay.
The first image I did was a little off, but the second, when I enhanced it and went in there and drew some more, again, not trying to deviate from what's there.
Yeah.
There, you can see what's there. Just clean it up. That's what I was doing, and I achieved it. It was great.
Yeah.
And back then, this was in 2003, 2004. So, Bigfoot was still evolving. There wasn't a lot out there, and I'm just a guy.
Right.
I'm just throwing my art out there. But it has spread recently. It's been everywhere.
And that's why I wanted to do this video. So for the record, his signature is on there. That's Rob Roy Menzies art, and people are still saying it is AI, but it's literally not.
Or it's the best photograph ever
Right.
of the Patty film. Like there's some
Right.
frame of the film that's the cleanest ever.
Right.
No, that was just me back in 2004 wanting to see what Patty looked like a little clearer.
Yeah.
And I had one of the reasons is, my whole background, I was into monsters in Hollywood, more into the making. I was into makeup and monsters and the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Growing up in the 70s, that's what I thought I would be, is a monster makeup artist. I loved it.
Right.
I began collecting masks, really high quality Don Post studio masks back in the 70s when I was a kid.
Right.
Kind of different for a kid, but I had about 9 masks by about 1978.
Okay.
And I have 3 of them left that are here displayed at my store.
Awesome.
But I wanted to see if I recognized, after I did this process, if I recognized it as a mask from somewhere in my world of, being in monsters and movies. And
Right.
I can't say that I've not seen one. So
To me, it is so amazing. Who would think to make a female Bigfoot costume with big breasts on it?
that's a pretty good one. It's such a simple detail, but it throws everyone off. And
Right. For back then,
yeah,
I
back
don't think
then,
nobody would have
certainly
done
would have
that.
been a lot easier just to use a dude and
Regular apes.
regular ape suit, just go
Yeah.
for it. If it was a hoax, it was very. That right there is pretty clever.
Yeah.
A lot of people that discount the Patterson film will point to Roger Patterson's book an early drawing he did
Right.
of a Sasquatch, which showed breasts.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
the thought was in his head,
Right.
but still, we were talking about the enhanced AI version of the film that was released recently, and the breasts are a subject matter because they look so fluid, they look so natural
Right.
in this newer version, and it's been tried to duplicate it before, and they can't get it right. It's just it's super hard to do that with boobs, make
Right.
them look good, like
Yeah.
look real.
Right.
So there's that too. So I always say don't put your eggs in one basket,
Right.
just to be safe. But I'm very hopeful about that. I think it's legitimate, but
I do too.
if something happens and somebody comes out and confesses and it all turns out to be I want to be ready for that too.
Right.
I don't want to be all emotional and still say it was real.
Right.
What if it wasn't? Oh no. It's just it's ongoing. This will be ongoing forever, I'm sure. So
Yeah.
But I'm glad I got to get it off my chest about my patty drawings.
Yeah, because you kind of pioneered that. Not too many people were clearing it up with Photoshop.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't something, and a lot of people think, oh, he did it in Photoshop. There, you just click on it. No,
Yeah.
I did everything with my hands.
Right.
I used mostly the airbrush function. Okay, drawing, and again, like I'm tracing it. I've got my layer
Right.
set at about 50%, so I can still see the actual film, the
Right.
picture behind it. And I'm drawing all the dark spots and everything, and I'll turn the background off and I'll see what I have. And at first it looks like a mess, but after hours and hours of working on it,
Right.
and taking this part of the head and that, and just kind of focusing, taking the blur out of it. That's
Right.
it. Just taking the blur out of it. It took a long time, and I did it by hand. I didn't push a little filter.
Right.
I didn't do any of that. I drew everything by hand, even a little bit of erasing and blurring and trying to make it more presentable, and but yet not deviating from any of the original pixels that are there. It's just sharpening them, and that's tricky to do. You try to do that. I mean, it's fun. It was a fun project, but here we are. How many years later? 20 years later.
Yeah.
And now I see it being morphed into this. They just pretty much make up what it is. They don't.
Right.
They don't understand that I drew it.
Right.
It's kind of being lost now.
Immediately go to AI. So
Yeah,
that's-
it's kind of been a long time ago thing, and now we all see this happen in the Bigfoot world. Old films,
Yep.
even old hoaxes will resurrect themselves,
Yep.
and with new fans, and us old guys will go, "Oh God, here comes that again." But you read the threads, and it's amazing how many people believe it, and start going on, and then it takes on a whole nother layer, and then we got to step up. Somebody's got to step up and go, "No, this was a hoax.
Yeah.
This was done by so and so this years ago."
Yeah.
There's a lot of that going on, a lot of explaining
Right.
to people, but a lot of time has gone by.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of things have evolved and changed, and
New generations here.
yeah, but it's kind of funny just sitting back watching it all unfold.
Yeah.
So pretty soon I probably won't exist. I'll just be an AI character.
Right.
People,
We all be-
Rob Roy was never real. It was just an AI character. You guys realize that, right?
Absolutely.
So, no, I'm real. But, and I'm still an artist. Although AI does kind of, I don't know, gets a little discouraging sometimes.
Yeah.
We have that. It's a whole nother conversation.
Right. Right. It's
Anyway.
not good for the actual pen and paper artist. That's for sure.
No. But like I said, that's good we can talk a whole nother show about that.
Right.
But I'm glad we got the patty, my drawing out of the way, because I've been seeing it a lot on different I don't know what it is. It just makes the rounds.
It does.
And it seems like every time I see it, it just builds. It just gets crazier and crazier what people explain what it is.
Right.
And I just get tired of, forget it anymore. I don't want to. Anyway.
Well, if someone wants to order an actual print from the real artist,
I will sell you one.
contact
I'll sign it too.
He will sign it.
I will sign it.
Bigfoot Art Gallery on Facebook, the official page, and send him a message.
Send me a message.